Purni Bore. That's very dry in comparison to last time. All these was full of water. So with so many people, there wasn't much left of the normal, usual calm desert atmosphere. This was the wake-up call of the German team in the morning. My new Thuraya satellite phone, which I'm currently testing, worked brilliantly. It meant that my family could call us without any extra costs and speak to myself or to Summer without any issues. I really like it so far. Yeah, testing phase, absolutely crazy. It is 40 degrees here. And fortunately we have a little bit of a breeze, but yeah, it is so damn hot. A few of the Germans stumbling around here. Checking that everyone is hydrated, but just 5 o'clock. We had Purni Bore. Today is the start of the record attempt. And we're driving now to Alka-Seltzer Bore, where it all starts. And yeah, that's my tire alarm. Switch that off, and yeah. We'll see how that goes. Or I have a pretty good idea how it goes, but who knows. But that means the Ultravision light bars get a bit of a workout, because it's going to be every morning. It seems like early morning drive. So that is without, where you pretty much see nothing. Beautiful, huh?
I think he likes light. Or he doesn't like it. Maybe.
It's alright.
Passt das so mit dem Licht?
So festgesetzt? Ich glaube eher der Öste.
Ja.
Was bei mir? Der Öste, der da aussieht. Adam? Ja. Wo ist der? Das ist eine gute Frage. Den habe ich abgemacht.
The solar challenge is on its way, and we just reached sunrise here. The German team did a pretty good job modifying the buggy, taking the solar panels off the roof, removing the second seat and placing them next to the driver, which really shifted the balance, and the buggy did ride much better than during the test. However, that was early days. The first 1.5 days, all dunes east-west, are pretty easy to ride anyway. After 3.5 hours of driving, the solar buggy batteries were empty and needed recharging. This was a good chance for me to put my new Super Pack awning up to have some shade. First charging stop. I used the time to have brekkie, one of my Radix berry mixed breakfast, which I absolutely love. Because we're here with the solar challenge, but that all doesn't work exactly how they thought. And we're pretty much sitting at 40-degree heat during the day in the desert and waiting for the buggy to charge. So, yeah. Yeah, fortunately last night they came to the conclusion that the world record is off. We spent 8 hours sitting at 40 degrees in the desert, baking, waiting for the batteries to charge. But that was too hot then to charge, and yeah, that all didn't work. Unfortunately now the solar record had to be aborted, and we need to get out because it is really very hot and you can't sit for 8 hours in the middle of the day here. piece of German preparation for the desert. It is a bag full of water pistols.
Can I open it? Should we fill some up?
Let's go. Don't waste it. At the morning meeting, Kevin and myself's suggestion was that we return back because that was the fastest way out. However, the decision was made that we continue on with the buggy on the trailer. While the trailer was manufactured for the buggy, it wasn't really designed as an off-road trailer, and the attachment points for the buggy were not really that well designed. The way how the buggy was secured to the trailer did not withstand the constant corrugation and bumps, and it needed to be readjusted very frequently. Yeah, French line here, and I'm very surprised how the track has changed. There used to be some interesting dunes or more interesting dunes, but I guess so many vehicles have been through here. The track is pretty firm, there's hardly any loose sand, just a lot of whoopsie-doos where people have been stuck, I guess, and spun wheels. But overall, so far, pretty easy. Certainly not many people here. We actually have only heard of one other vehicle or two other vehicles which are on the WAA line. And yeah, because I guess very late in the year and pretty hot. You really don't want to be out of the car. What happened, Dave? Brakes?
Lines for the shock absorber.
Yes.
It's been rubbing on the brake line. It's just worn a little tiny hole in it.
Ah. PFs.
There that broke a while back.
Got some silicone tape?
Yeah. That's on. It's my ABS light came on.
Ah, that's why the brakes didn't work.
Well, they were spongy before, and
Yeah.
I checked. It was full. It was really hot, and I checked all the brakes. There was no leaks, and there was no fluid. So I think that's.
You need the fluid?
Yeah, it's down below me.
So just financed this trip because he sold this bottle of brake fluid today for how much was it?
$1,000.
$1,000. Yeah, out here, you know, the prices are a bit steeper.
If that's already crimped,
Just try it.
take that one off.
Yeah, we were just talking about that, finding
back
a
on.
bolt.
Would that be the same thread and everything? Bad to be, isn't it?
Well, that was the one that was on my truck, and I had to.
More stuff going on here. How's that working, Alex? Idea?
It's level.
Oh, it's level. Yeah.
It's level. Just trying to take some. I don't take some load out of it.
Yeah.
Out of that, because they're going to snap the rims off.
Yeah. We're on the French line close to BM 61, and the trailer with the buggy on, which was never designed to be towed off-road, is not doing too well. The buggy can't be properly secured. We constantly have to readjust. We managed to drive 30 k's today. Fuels will become an issue in a few days. Water will become an issue. So the decision now was made again, which I suggested this morning, that we turn back. The quickest way out here. The heat is not better, and that's what we're doing now. Hopefully that will all work. We get the trailer back over the dunes, and yeah, and the first dune back up, which are a bit steeper coming from the west. The dune stopped the trailer, so they're airing further down now. We'll see, but that's not a good start. Originally, the plan was that the earth cruisers would pull the 200 series trailer and buggy up if required. However, the earth cruiser struggled on one of the dunes quite a bit, so I fell back and hooked up the 200 plus trailer. David's 200 series with the V8 was really the perfect vehicle to tow the trailer and the buggy on top. He had plenty of power on tap, and he figured out very quickly how to tow that trailer, which was never designed to go off-road through the Simpson Desert. We developed a pretty good system where I would crawl every dune as slow as possible and would figure out where the soft patches are, and then could advise David how to take that dune. And that worked perfectly, and we really started to making some way. Dave only needed assistance on one other dune, which was very soft and had an S-bend in. Some of the guys wanted to get the MaxTrax out, but on an incline in soft sand with the trailer at the back, gentle snatch is far better suited than mucking around with MaxTrax, which would take ages. While it looks fairly flat on the video, it was at a reasonable angle, and after first trying to gently tow, I needed to give it a little bit more speed and a gentle snatch, and that did the job without an issue then. My cruiser is on BFG KM3 mud-terrain tires. I'm in low range, have no lockers engaged, but run 15 psi hot in my tires. So we're exactly back where we started this morning, after driving half a day in and just having issues with the trailer, with cars, and seeing the progress we made, which was bugger all, 20-something kilometer in a day. That meant we would have spent another 5 days or so in the desert. Which in return would have meant nothing can go wrong, because then we would be running short on water and fuel, and that is with a big group and 10 vehicles. We did finally the sensible decision to turn around, which I suggested this morning. But yeah, anyway, all good. We turned around. Trailer, no issues on the much steeper approaches now. And heading back out now. Today was 45 degrees, so pretty warm. Yeah, Dave with his mighty powerful 200 series. But same issue I had. He has his DC-DC here. I had my one here. And his also overheats in the engine bay. And that means auxiliary battery not charging. And that is the microwave. So really, not just here, it's just not well suited for the engine bay, any DC-DC charger really. The next morning we made our way towards Dalhousie Springs, which would bring us back into reasonable civilization and the possibility of supplies and spares. The buggy still needed the occasional adjustment on the trailer as it came loose every few kilometers. We made it back to Dalhousie Springs over quite bad corrugation, and here the decision was made to drive towards Hamilton Station and camp there for the night. We had a quick stop at the Dalhousie ruins, which Summer hadn't seen before, and she did a bit of a walkthrough while I flew the drone. It is quite amazing that this was once a cattle station, which was started in 1873. The ephemeral Fink River passes for a distance of 48 kilometers through the property, but it hardly ever has water.
This was also an old house. It's very unexpected to see out here.
The corrugation on the road were as bad as I remembered them, and it is really no fun to drive. We stopped at the Purni Bore ruins and waited for the other guys to catch up. This also marks the end of our trip. We camped close to Hamilton Station and then the next morning drove into Outback to refill and went our separate ways then. I should mention that the German team didn't put too much effort in to actually get the full set of rules for the Solar Challenge, which was set by Alan and Mark together with the Guinness Book of Records. When I spoke to Mark, it turned out that quite a few things which the German team did were actually not as per rules, so would have caused a disqualification if they made it to the end. For instance, everyone who is involved in setting up and packing up the solar panels needs to be in the vehicle driven for the full duration of the trip. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoy my videos, please consider to like, subscribe and maybe even join me on Patreon and become one of my Patreon supporters. If you're already a Patreon supporter, thank you very much for your support. It is greatly appreciated.